Hello my loves, welcome back. Today we're going to discuss dancer's pose. We'll be discussing how to do the pose, modifying the pose, and tips and tricks. Okay, so if you're doing this with me, you might need a strap and either a wall or a chair for support. So let's come to the middle of your mat. Let's take up a little bit of space today. If you already know that your balance is a little bit suspect, then perhaps you're using a chair or a wall for support already. And I want you to think about your legs. You may already know that you favor one leg. Perhaps one leg is a little bit stronger than the other. And from here, I want you to send the left leg behind you. Now, as you send the left leg behind you, I want the knee to be behind you. So we're in a little bit of hip extension here. That left knee behind your right knee. And as you do that, send the weight forward so that you can lift that left foot away from the floor. How's your balance already here? If you're feeling that there's some balance challenge, again, maybe you're using a wall for support. Can you bend the left knee and bring the foot towards the bum? And just see if that left hand can reach around and grab a hold of your left foot. It could be the foot, it could be the ankle, anything nearby. Now, as you're doing this, I want you to think about the knees here. It's quite tempting here to have this left knee forward just to get the foot towards the bum. So notice, is your left knee still behind, slightly behind that right knee? Are you still in a little bit of hip extension? It won't be a great deal. Now, as you do this, can you flip the grip that you have on your foot so that you're holding perhaps the inside edge? It's not a huge deal if you have to hold the outside edge. Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. And as you find that, can you push the foot into the hand? As you push the foot into the hand, you'll feel the belly perhaps and the chest move forward. And from here, can you tip at that right hip, the chest forward, the crown of the head rising up to the crack of the wall and the ceiling here, and the foot reaching up and back. It's not about yanking the foot up, it's about pushing the foot into the hand to rise away from the bum. The right arm can be at the hip, maybe the right arm reaches forward, whatever feels right for you. Release back up, bring the foot back to the bum, and then bring the foot to the floor. All right, let's try the other side. So again, set it up just as you did on the previous side. Send the right leg back behind you. Transfer some of the weight forward so that you can lift that right foot away from the floor. The right hip in extension here already. And then can you bend the right knee, grab a hold of the foot, the ankle, maybe you've got socks, maybe it's your pant leg. Keeping that right knee back, can you flip the grip so that you're holding the inside edge? Again, not super important, don't get hung up on the details. Can you push the foot into the hand? Can you create a little bit of an arch through the back body? And then, any amount, hinge at the hip, let the torso come forward, let the foot come back. And again, if you need to, hold on to a wall or a chair for support. Release back up. Bring the foot to the bum. Bring the foot to the floor. And relax. Okay, so how was that, right to left? Did you have more extension on one leg coming back? Was your balance different right to left? Notice these things. Okay, so let's look at some modifications of our dancer's pose. And the first one is going to be, it's a challenging balance pose. You're holding on to something, you're tipping forward, and you're having to stand on one leg. So, if you need to, use a wall, foot to the bum, reach back. If you don't have a wall, use a chair. If you find that you're already using a wall or something and you're struggling to reach around and grab a hold of the foot, then use a strap. So this is the way that I like to use a strap for a basic dancer's pose, and that is to take your strap, take one leg forward, wrap around at the back, and then pull the leg up. Again, notice that I'm still in hip extension here. The left knee is behind my right knee. And you want a strap kind of around your ankle here. And then you can push the leg away, hinge forward, and come into dancer. Now the strap also has another benefit in that I'm sure we've all seen these beautiful poses of women reaching back and grabbing a hold of their foot. You're not going to see that from me. I can't do that. So what you can do to work on that is use your strap again here. You take your strap, step forward, loop through the ankle here, rise up, lift the elbows up, again keeping that knee behind the standing leg, and then walk the hands down the strap. Keep the elbows lifted. Push the foot into the strap and then see if you can tip forward. Using the strap, great way to modify yoga poses. Don't be afraid of using the straps. Okay, so that's modifications. Wall props. The major things that I see go wrong in dancer's pose is that people are not coming into hip extension first. When they come to bring the foot to the bum, this happens, and then they pull back. Can you instead reach back and bring the foot to the bum so that you're already lengthening through the hip flexor? And if you need to stretch your hip flexors, there's a video on that here. So there's a lot of ways here that we can work on our dancer's pose. You can work on just balance, standing in a quad stretch. If you find that you need wall for support in the quad stretch, you're gonna need a wall for support in dancer's pose. Can you come into hip extension in your quad stretch and get a little movement into the hip, maybe a little bit of extension through the spine? And then can you push the foot into the hands and tip forward? If you think about your gaze, rather than gazing down at the floor, gaze forward. If you gaze down at the floor, that's where you're going to go. All right, my loves, I hope that helped give you some insights, tips and tricks into dancer's pose. If you're struggling with any aspects of the pose you want me to deep dive into, then leave me a comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, then give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And remember, my loves, karma is only a bitch if you are. So be nice, be kind, and be the change that you want to see in the world.